Welcome to Steve 87th, Puget Sound and Pacific Railroad.
Hi everyone, this is Steve 87th PSAP Railroad, or Puget Sound and Pacific. This is my channel, and I just wanted to invite you guys to come along and watch as I build my railroad, build up some kits, do some kit bashing, and running trains like the one behind me. So if this is what you guys like to watch, stick around for a while and see if you like the channel. Hey Model Railroaders, Steve 87th here with an update on my Walthers contest build. So I've got a lot of still shots of the things that I've been doing and a little bit of tips and updates on what's been going on. So let's go ahead and look at what my build looks like. So one of the things that makes these things so slow to go is the amount of clamps that you got. But since we don't have clotheslines anymore, my wife has some crafting clothespins, and she decided to lend me her, I can't get it open. Hold on. Sorry. Her binder clip collection. So I'm going to see if the binder clips will work and if I can get this going a little bit faster. Okay, there we have it. We got those 12. We got this whole box. And we got that whole box, and that's for 2 of them. The good thing is now I just do less because, well, yeah, it'll be half this next time because each one of these 2s will be put together so that there'll be 4, and then after that, then you have to use 2 for each one of them because you'll have 2 and 4. So you'll have a 4 hooking up to a 2 to make the total 6. So I'll still need all of these, but if you guys remember, that was the bag I started with. Now it's pretty much empty. So small binder clips, really good, even on curves, so that's a good thing to do. All right, I'm gonna get back to it. All right, so I was finally able to get enough of the silos together and started to lay out what the plan is gonna be for the layout here. So this is basically the overhead view of what it's supposed to look like. You can see that there are the 2 large tanks on one side, small tank, and then 2 large tanks on the other side, and a bunch of other tanks in between. So I don't have exactly all the right tanks. This is more of an inspirational build rather than it is an actual prototype build. However, I am keeping the loading bays and so forth. So I decided to lay this out the best I could on the 2x4 foot piece of foam that I have. This was sort of the arrangement, the first part of the arrangement that I was going to have with the track laid out and all the tanks on one side of the track. And then I actually looked at the picture again and realized that big blue spot in the middle there is not where the trucks come in at. They actually drive all the way down and around the tanks and come back to make it. So I decided this needed to be changed a bit. So I believe this is the configuration that I'm going to go with. Oh, I missed one of the tanks. There's actually the 3 large tanks are on the one side of the track. They go all the way back with the 1 tank there. And then I put the 2 smaller tanks, 2 more smaller bins on the other side of the tracks so I can keep that kind of look that I want to have. And it also gives me a chance to put in the trees that I want. The water tanks are where they're supposed to be. There's the drying rack, there's the 2 buildings, and then that 3rd building that's in there, which is the other one that I have to put in per the contest, is just kind of out in the middle of the area for stocks and things like that. So I think this is the way that I'm going to come up with. Now the next thing that I have to do is, that's my Kato track that's in there. Made a little mistake and forgot that I was supposed to use the track that was provided, so I got some track coming in. So this is a view from the end. The next thing that I have to do, you can see all the 3 tanks are lined up and all that. So there's a big conveyor system that connects all of those tanks together for the grain and different soybeans and stuff like that, I guess, to move around. So I placed an order and I am now currently waiting for like $200 worth of plastic I-beams and Warren trusses and handrails and things like that to set up all the conveyor system and all. And you can see my scratch build over there between between the main portion of the section and the little building that's on the end. That end portion, I have to put I've scratch built a little end cap that goes on that matches the rest of the building. And then I still got to do up all the buildings. The other thing is the track. I'm actually going to try this for the first time. I'm going to router out where the track is at to lower it into the actual foam board, because this is a fairly level area. There's not much change. So I just want it to kind of look like the track is embedded so I don't have to do as much ballasting and all. And then this is kind of the front layout. You can see I've got a large water tank, a small water tank. Those are going to be replaced by, I think, two water tanks of the same size. You can see where the truck is going to be at. I still got to build the upper structure, and then do all of the elevators, and then, like I said, that whole conveyor belt thing. So since I'm waiting on things, I decided to paint up some details that I need to have around. So another thing that we have to have on the set is I got a pack for hand carts, or the pallet jacks, and I got pallets and a whole bunch of little bags and stuff. So I decided to paint up some of my bags. So painted up the bags, glued them all in stacks, put them on pallets. So I got the pallet jacks, and I got some pallets laying around, painted up the pallets, detailed them up a little bit, and got some wheelbarrows because, well, I'm figuring around with the grain and all that. There's always going to be kind of wheelbarrows. I was able to find some people to work the area, and I also have a couple of Wilson grain trailers to build yet. So that's basically my update. I've got my 2x4 area set up. I've got the foam core that I'm going to use. I've got to still build the wooden base for it. And then the big thing that's going to come up, I think, those conveyors. I've actually had to go and study. Yeah, I actually had to learn how all of this stuff works. So I've gone online and looked to find out how a feed mill works, how feed sections go in. That's how I know how the center building is going to be, where they got feed tanks and crushers and all, and that you've got the capture tanks, and then you've got the uh, fill areas and the drying areas, and then the other tanks, which are going to be water and chemical tanks, because they actually add additives and preservatives and all that, have all got to be in there. So the only things that are left that I need to put in for the build of this is I've got an overhead crossing gate that I have to put in. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. I think what's going to happen is that it's just going to be laying down on the side in grass and all that. Like, they've either taken it down or they're putting it up, rather than actually install it, because it's a side road. They wouldn't actually have that type of a gate there. And some telephone poles. And that's going to be really easy because I just need to put in like one or two telephone poles, with a big transformer section that goes into the plant area. And then I think I'll probably wind up, if I get around to it and all that, wind up running some conduit areas so that you can see how that goes. Got a lot of piping to do, so there's not as much piping as there would be in a refinery, but there's a lot of grain piping that has to go in. And again, reading about the grains and all that, there is different types of modes. The conveyor belt itself isn't actually a conveyor belt. There's different screw drives that work. There's an interior conveyor belt inside of a pipe that they use to move these things around. I thought about air blowers, but I think I don't have enough big electrical motors for that. So I've got some smaller electrical motors that I can use for using the pulleys and things like that. So the good news is the contest has been extended out to July. So that gives me another month. So yeah, I know this sounds kind of weird, but unlike a lot of other people, I'm okay staying home. And right now I am still employed. I work from home now, and my employer is still shut down for my particular type of job. So we're still able to work from home. We can't go into the factory yet, Other people are back at the factory, but I'm in a support role and most of my stuff can be done at home. So for me, this has not been that bad of a problem. Like I said, I still have my income and I get to work from home on my computer. So it's just getting supplies. That's the only kind of thing. So just want to thank everybody for watching. Any comments, any suggestions that you guys have would be great. Anything that you guys think I might be missing or whatever, let me know. Other than that, thanks for watching. And if you like what I'm doing or you want to see how this all comes out, subscribe. All right, this is Steve 87th saying you guys have a good day.